Dexter's Laboratory was one of the greatest Cartoon Network series in the late 90s. It was just funny and emotional, and was basically about a young genius boy who had his own laboratory where he would spend time inventing and coming up with ideas that were out of this world. He also had an older sister who mostly bullied and undermined him at every opportunity. It ran for 4 seasons, and today I want us to remember the young boy and everyone else who featured in the show. Then touch a little about the iconic voice actors behind the scenes, who they were and how old they are today in 2025. And we shall begin with the elephant in the room known as Dexter. He was a genius who had a secret laboratory in the house and was the brains of the entire family. He was also the greatest inventor in the whole show and was known to possess amazing machines which he used for his experiments and creating new species. In each episode, he created something new, and the whole episode would be based on that particular thing. The only consistent problem he faced was the disruption of his big sister called DD, who always forced herself in the lab and messed up his plans. His idol was Albert Einstein, who he considered to be his greatest influence in life, and he was also the sharpest and smartest kid in his class. And despite coming from an all-American household, Dexter had a Russian accent and was the only one in the family to have it. His voice came from a woman called Christine Cavanaugh, who was an American voice actress with a very unique voice. She also voiced Chucky Finster in Rugrats and Bunny Rabbit in Sonic the Hedgehog series. This talented woman sadly passed away 3 days from the 2014 Christmas Day, and her body was cremated with her ashes scattered into the Great Salt Lake. She was only 51 years old. DD was the older sister of Dexter, and was known for her habit of ruining and destroying the laboratory in almost all the episodes. She was always smiling, and she never had anything important to do other than being a headache to Dexter. She was very friendly and very social to everyone, and despite being Dexter's sibling, she was the complete opposite of him in every way. Her hobbies were dancing ballet and singing in ways that really irritated her introverted brother. Her personality came from the curiosity of knowing what Dexter was doing in his lab, and she was always seen pressing all kinds of buttons she found down in the laboratory. This annoying girl was voiced by Kat Cressida. She is an actress who has been active since 1993, and is a multitasking queen who voices characters from both animation shows and video games. Now, Dexter had a mother who was just referred to as Mom, and was just a loving housewife who was allergic to germs. Her full-time job was making sure that the house was spotless clean and the groceries were always packed in the house. She always wore a pair of yellow rubber gloves and was mostly seen keeping things clean and in order around the house. And even though she was a housewife, I think she was the busiest person in the family because we never saw her getting any rest in all the episodes. If she was not cleaning, she was shopping, and if she was not shopping, she was cleaning even more. She was a perfectionist and the cleanest person in the series, and was a mother voiced by the lovely Kath Soucie. She is a voice actress and a legend with voices of Lola Bunny, Kanga, and very many other characters in Disney and Warner Brothers. Dad also did not have a specific name, and was the father of both DD and Dexter. He basically loved all the dad activities like bowling, fishing, and fixing things around the house. His daughter DD inherited almost all his traits like his blonde hair, his cluelessness, and also his smile. He was basically a chill dude with a calm personality, and was a man in his early 40s or late 30s. Voiced by Jeff Bennett, who is one of the greatest male voice actors today. We've discussed him a couple of times, and is mostly recognized as the iconic voice of Johnny Bravo in Cartoon Network. There was a certain monkey that had superpowers, and he hid his alter ego from everyone else just like how superheroes do. He was Earth's greatest hero according to the show, and he appeared in several episodes where he fought villains that tried to take over the world. He worked for global security where he protected the world from intergalactic villains and large monsters. When he was off duty, he basically behaved like a normal monkey with all the mischievousness and nonsense. But when it was time to save the world, Monkey was extremely serious and heroic, and he always risked his life to ensure that people were safe and protected. He was just like Superman from DC, and was a hero voiced by Frank Welker, who is an American voice actor that is the fourth highest grossing actor today. He specializes in voicing animals and monsters, and a good example is voicing the ghost dog in The Nightmare Before Christmas and also Santa's little helper in The Simpsons. Valhalla was a demigod who described himself as the Viking god of rock. He had long blonde hair and a helmet that kind of looked similar to that of Thor, and was known to be a calm and mellow god with a Southern Californian accent. He loved music more than anything else, and also owned a powerful guitar which he played in almost all of his appearances in the show. And despite the fact that he was literally a god, he was very unintelligent concerning human life, and he depended on his friends to help him most of the time. He was an immortal Asgardian who used music as his main weapon against evil, and was one of the strongest beings in the show. Voiced by Tom Kenny, who is the original voice of SpongeBob since 1999, and he also voiced the mayor and narrator in the Powerpuff Girls series. Major Glory was a superhero that dressed like the Homelander, and he also appeared in the Powerpuff Girls as well. His face was never fully seen because of the golden mask that he always wore, and his costume was made of the United States flag and a helmet that referenced the image of a bald eagle. He was a proud and a very patriotic hero who was also very brave in battle and loved his country above all else. And just like Dexter's mother, this hero could not stand germs, and was a clean and a very neat person in his house. He had fear of bees and dentists, and he lived quite a basic life in his private house. He was voiced by Rob Paulsen, who is an American voice actor and the one true voice of Yakko in the Animaniacs. Mandark's real name was Susan Astronominov, and he was the main archenemy of Dexter in the show. He always had a dream to destroy Dexter and his lab in order to prove that he was the superior genius in the town. Just like our boy Dexter, Mandark was a boy genius who wanted nothing else but to rule the world. When he was first introduced to our screens, he was seen to be leagues ahead of Dexter in terms of knowledge and accomplishments. But after Dexter and DD destroyed his lab, his scientific skills became far less impressive than Dexter's. He rebuilt his lab, but his reputation was ruined and confidence remained low. He swore to destroy Dexter's lab as a way of getting his revenge and becoming the top dog in the city. He was voiced by Eddie Dezen, who is an American actor and comedian. He mostly plays nerdy characters in his roles, and a good example is his role as the know-it-all kid in the Polar Express. Simeon was a chimpanzee who was mutated by gamma rays and was given human-like physique and the ability to speak in our language. Simeon was first introduced as a bitter man who wanted to take his revenge against the humans who abandoned him, and was seen to be another smart and intelligent character in the show. We later came to realize that deep down he was just lonely, and his new life made him an outcast both to humans and to his fellow chimps. He fought with Monkey, who was the hero we discussed before, and after losing the fight, he swore to change his ways and become a better person in the city. It was Maurice LaMarche who voiced him. Maurice is also the voice of Kif Kroker in Futurama and also Big Bob in Hey Arnold. There was this alien species of kids who were minor characters in the show. They were seen in the episode where they took DD to perform experiments on her. But DD's stupidity and her nuisance made it unbearable for the kids to cope with. And after Dexter broke in their mothership to save his sister, the aliens were actually happy to get DD away from their presence. This trio was voiced by the amazing D. Bradley Baker, who is one of the greatest voice actors today. He is famously known for voicing Captain Rex and the other clone troopers in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Mimi was the best friend of DD and Lily. She was not among the most known characters, but what I can say is she loved dancing ballet with DD and also hanged out with her in most of the episodes as a minor character. Her voice was from Kimberly Brooks, who is another voice acting legend since the 90s. She has appeared in girly shows like The Winx Club and also in video games and movies. And our final pick of the day is the Jurassic Pooch. This dinosaur was created from a fossil that Dexter reanimated to life, and he had the brain and heart of a dog, which made it more playful and active just like a real dog. Dexter was not happy because he wanted a real-life dinosaur with normal behavior, so he decided to lock it up in a cage until he came up with a new idea. Dee, however, found the dinosaur and freed it from the cage, and they immediately became good friends. It was voiced by a man called Tomasz Skimshiner, who is a Polish actor from Poland.